This is the Chevy van that we use for like taking all our road trips, and we camping it for a couple of days. Well, the longest we've been in it is 5 days. So we're building it, as we go along and figure out what we need when we need it. And mostly we need is like comfort things. Like I bought a little refrigerator that goes in there. It plugs in right here. I also that's where we hang the Bluetooth headphones and stuff, because we do use like the laptop and stuff. So I try to keep everything neat. Right now the seat's out of it because I also needed to do van stuff, like take stuff to the dump and do work stuff in the van. So I just make sure I cover everything with a tarp when I'm have big oily stuff in here. But that is the power inverter, if you can see it. That's the inverter. It's 1500 watts. It powers everything we need the power in here. It also has rear heat. I don't know if you can see it, but that helps out a lot too. It keeps this van pretty toasty. And let's see. Oh yeah. I also noticed when we travel, instead of using our phones for the navigation, I just got a navigation, and it actually has a CD player on it still. People don't use those a lot anymore, but I like the ability to, throw a movie in there or DVD in there and go. So yeah, I put that in there. So I'll go show you guys the outside of the van. Let me just show in here. There's no seats in here, but I usually like to travel with the seats, because this window right here is my favorite window. Like when we're sitting on the side of everything, this window just gives me a view of everything when we're parked. So this is like my favorite window. All right, let's go look outside the van. All right, this is the outside of the van. I did recently have to put an engine in here, if anyone looked at the first video I posted. I also did a 4-inch lift on it, and put 33-inch tires on it. In the front, it's just like you probably can't see it, it's just a drop spindle on there. You can see it. There's no change in the geometry of the front end of the vehicle, so it drives like normal and it floats all over everything, and it doesn't get stuck, as you can see. Well, it doesn't get stuck as much. You can see all the mud and stuff on it. So in the rear, I just used a 4-inch lift block. I don't know if you can see the block. I'll get under there more. I did a 4-inch lift block and a spacer on the shock. I don't know if you can see it. See that spacer on the shock? So yeah, that lifts it up, and using all like factory shocks and everything, factory leaf springs and everything. So that's pretty good. I just did the brakes on it. I made a video, but it came out with no audio. And I also did the rear diff cover, because you never know. You should always do your maintenance. So yeah, let me get from under here. Oh no, I'm hooked. Alright, so this is the van. I do need to make some window shades for it. It doesn't need a wash, because I did take it to the scrap yard the other day to throw out some scrap. Watch out, you crazy thing. What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? Alright. But yeah, this is the van that we got, and it does the job. I am going to add a heater, because that's most of the problem we have, is actually heating the van while it's not running. So, oh yeah, with the lift, I noticed when I lifted it, the brake lines got too short, and I did all this on a budget basically. So the whole lift I got off eBay. I paid $180 for the front spindles, and like $68 for the rear lift blocks. Like, it's like super budget, on a super budget. But then when I lifted it, I noticed the brake lines, they didn't reach anymore. So what I did, I don't know if you guys guys can see in here. I had to buy a little piece of brake line, and I extended it from its original location down to here, and that just gave me enough, enough space to not have any problems. But yeah, so I lifted this whole thing for about, crazy dog, you're crazy. But yeah, I lifted this whole thing for about probably not even what, $500 or $600. These are the two seats that I took out the van, but I'll put them back in there after I'm done running all my errands. But this is the frigid air refrigerator that goes in the van. It's pretty cool. Like, we only need like room for like little hot dogs and hamburgers and stuff. We don't travel with a lot of stuff, and we put some water bottles at the top, and just put the regular meats and stuff at the bottom, and throw like this little sriracha and Miracle Whip in the door. We don't really carry a lot, and it plugs into the that inverter we have in the back. But also, you see, it takes AC. You can also, I don't know if you can see, it also uses DC, so you can use this thing anywhere. I think we got this thing from Walmart for like $60, and it's frigid air, and it has like a 2-year warranty. So yeah, we like that thing. But yeah, next I just got to put the diesel heater in there, and then next trip we go on, we'll see what other comfort items we need to get this van ready. And I've driven this van from South Carolina to New York, from South Carolina to New York to Louisiana. Driven this literally 6,000 miles in like the last 4 months. So the van does pretty good.